Hey all, it's Jess. Welcome back to Sunflower Dairy. Today we're going to be planting ranunculus flowers in mini hoop houses. So let's get started. Now ranunculus is a beautiful cool weather flower, so even though we haven't had our first frost date yet, we can put these in mini tunnels with frost fabric and these will do perfectly fine. Pre-sprouted them and now we're going to be planting them out. Alright, let's see if I can get these pulled out of here. Ooh, I'm already seeing lots of roots. So you're going to plant each corm individually. So you're going to go ahead and separate them. These have crazy roots on them. My garden bed is filled with compost, and I also put different kinds of feather meal, bone meal, and any of that. Just look at those little happy ranunculus. I cannot believe the roots on these. This is crazy. The green tops to be still sticking out a little bit above the ground, so we're just going to lightly be covering these. Alright, let's get the rest of these going. So I'm just going to be planting these a few inches, probably 2 to 3 inches apart, just so they have room to expand a little bit. The corm size on these is crazy too. Look, that great big one, that's one plant, and then this is one plant. Now ranunculus is frost hardy up to 27 degrees, so you can leave your ranunculus uncovered unless it's going to get down to that temperature. Otherwise, it's perfectly fine in temperatures above 27 degrees, but usually if it gets to about 32 freezing, then that's when I'll go ahead and cover everything up just to be on the safe side. But a lot of people are surprised that you can plant this out so early, but as you can see, the foliage on these, it's a lot tougher than normal foliage that you see, and they grow from a tuber, so they're a little bit more hardy. Just check out some of those roots on those. Those are crazy. So I started quite a few trays of ranunculus. I think I probably have, I'm trying to figure, probably, I don't know, about 100 or so ranunculus corms that I pre-sprouted. Like I said earlier, when you pre-sprout, you just soak your ranunculus in water for 3 to 4 hours. You don't want to soak any longer than that because that's going to make them start rotting if you soak them too long in water, but usually 3 to 4 hours is good. And I'll usually just pre-soak in a stainless steel bowl, and I will just keep switching the water out every hour and keep just swishing around the corms to make sure that bubbles stay in the water. That way there's air in the water and the water doesn't get bacteria growing in it. Alright, we have our ranunculus planted, so now we're going to go ahead and put our little low tunnel on here. Alright, so before we get our mini low tunnel on here, I'm just going to go ahead and stretch this in. So when watering these, you don't want to water them too much because since they are tubers, they do have the chance of rotting, so you want to just mist these just enough to get the soil moist. You don't want to oversaturate these. And that's just enough. So also, if you have a freeze coming, I wouldn't water these until after your freeze, just so that way the actual soil doesn't get frozen. But watering when it's warm, and especially if it's warmer days when your low tunnel is getting very warm, you definitely want to water your ranunculus. All right, let's get the greenhouse on. So for doing this, I'm using a greenhouse poly, and I'm using greenhouse clips made especially for PVC pipe. This is what they look like. Alright, and there you have a mini low tunnel greenhouse. So on warmer days, you definitely want to be opening this up, especially if the sun is shining, because it's going to heat up really quick in there and you don't want it to get too hot, especially because these are cold season flowers, and if it gets too hot in there, they're not going to do as well. So venting this when you need to, and then when you know it's going to get below freezing, below 32 degrees, you definitely want to make sure this is covered up. Also, if it's going to be getting really cold, you want to make sure that there's a layer of frost cloth underneath your greenhouse poly. Alright all, thanks for coming along with me and planting ranunculus. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.